Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, hang on tight and listen up close because we're diving back into Splinterlands. Again, one of my favorite games to play of all time. I've been playing this game now for a little over a year. I, like a lot of people, got involved in cryptocurrency, and that led me into all kinds of crazy rabbit holes. But thankfully, one of those rabbit holes was this. Now, you don't have to know or care anything at all about any of that kind of crypto stuff. At the end of the day, this is really just a card game replacing all kinds of games out there. What do we got? 99 mana. Okay, well, I already know what we're facing. So let's do this so we can use a gladiator card. Because the only gladiator card that matters is that one. And then probably we want to stick something like this here in front. And maybe we do some of this. Some of that. Maybe, oh, you know what else would be a good idea? We stick this thing at the back. We stick this thing at the back. Oh gosh, we could get pretty ugly here. Maybe I should cut that and we should be looking at, can we get away with something like this? It's an interesting thought too. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get away with that. I don't want to lead with grunt. Well, okay, we could play really sleazy games here and just like lay some beats down. That sounds like fun. Yeah, let's just do that. All right. But as I was saying, because it is a cryptocurrency based game, right? Like it uses DC, which is the in game money. It uses SPS, which is sort of the in game governance token. So you can get involved in all the crypto side of stuff if you want. All of the cards are technically all NFTs. So, you know, if you want to be worried about that kind of stuff, you're welcome to be. Go ahead. But as a general rule, what I've basically been looking at this like is the same as when I was playing Hearthstone. And when I played Hearthstone, I spent a fair amount of money on it. You know, not a crazy amount, but like to spend 50 bucks on every release or 100 bucks on every release wasn't uncommon. And, after playing Hearthstone for a year or two, I realized that I'd spent, a couple of $1,000s on these cards that I literally had no way of getting the money back from. It was, to say it was frustrating and hard to deal with is not really accurate. I was really disappointed overall. So, speaking of disappointed overall, I got completely crushed by this thing. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. We should probably go back and look at that. It's good though. It's a good trick. I thought I had it, but he just crushed me. Of course, look at the rating there. This guy is way higher level than me. Why am I playing against this guy? Or person, sorry. It just seems crazy that I'd be playing against somebody so much higher level than me. Oh well. But yeah, so if you wanted to get involved in the crypto aspects of this sort of thing, we can go over to the Splinter Shards page here for a second. And pay no attention to my own personal stuff because this doesn't really matter too much. But you stake SPS and you get an APR. Right now it's about 15%, which, is whatever, negligible, I suppose. It's a reasonable return for any normal dollar investment. It's a little unusual for a crypto investment to be that low, but considering the bear market going on, for them to be offering 15% is actually kind of good. So I'm quite happy to take this. The other thing, of course, is that as you put in staking, what happens is you get staked rewards. And some of those rewards are things like vouchers. Now, these vouchers in game will get you if you want to buy a new booster pack early, you need a voucher to buy it early. Once it's released, everybody can buy them and everything's fine. But if you want, early access, vouchers sometimes are the ticket. There were some individual cards that you had to buy using a voucher as well as whatever. And it's just a way for the game to reward people who are helping to guide the game and how it gets built. Which, that's fair, whatever. I mean, if you had a company and a CEO, they'd be getting paid in a very similar fashion, so it's not much different than that. The DEC is another side of this thing where it's basically just the money that you're using inside the game, whether it's to buy cards. So say, for example, this is 69 cents. Let's go see if we can find a single copy for 69 cents, because that's just funny. And it says that's how much it is in DEC at the DEC current market price. So yeah, as you can see, like, generally speaking, when I'm looking at cards in my head, I'm sort of pricing them in like US dollar equivalent. It's like 50 cents, a penny, depends on the card, depends on, I mean, if you're looking for really expensive cards, you can find them, I'm sure. But you can also rent cards, which I think is amazing, because if there was anything that I would want to do, sometimes it's about going, okay, what is the most expensive card to rent? Well, that means that this is a card that I'd want to go buy, because I know that this card will rent. It's one of the highest renting cards out there. So you go and look at, now some of these cards are going to be ridiculously expensive. This one's maybe more reasonable to find than a gold foiled one. But with all of these kinds of things, as you go skimming your way through, one thing that you will notice is that these are all summoners. And you can tell from the way their abilities are written, they have no power and toughness, nothing like that. They're all just summoners. All the most expensive rented cards are summoners. So if I had any advice for a new player, it'd be make sure you buy some summoners, because you don't want to spend 0.00008 cents a day. I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're spending 10 cents a day to rent your deck, I mean, I suppose it's a lot cheaper than spending $5 to buy cards. But, teach their own. It is one of those things. You can buy it, set it up for rent. It's good. But let's go back over the battles. I don't know why the music is so loud on that page. This game is still not perfect, and there's definitely a lot of things that the team behind this game is working on. There's lots of talks about land and how it's going to get better, and soul keep and other aspects. But I think the big thing to focus on is like just this part of this. If I go over to my collection and I wanted to take a look at, I'm not sure why it's not organizing correctly. It should be, but that's fine. Oh, I see. We're on summoners only. Let's just organize it like this. And now I want to see what kind of a water deck I'm running. And you go, okay, well, here's all the blue cards that I own that are in the game. And you go, okay, or that I own in the game. It doesn't mean that there aren't many more cards. And if I wanted to look at that, I could go over here and look at playable cards that are in this format, and now I can see what cards I'm missing, which makes it a lot easier to go track down what cards you want to go buy here and there. Now, I spent a lot of time looking into what the abilities were on a card before I started investing in cards. I mean, obviously, right? You want to have some strategy going into what you're spending and how you're spending it. Just like when you're buying Magic cards, you don't go buy the $2 card that you're never going to use. You go, oh, I really want that $5 card, but I want 4 of them in my deck. Well, one of the things that's interesting about this is that when you buy a card, you can see it's got a BCX number here. Well, that BCX number is equivalent to how many copies of the physical card you've gotten and smashed together. So, to get a level 6 Kelia would require 11 of these cards smashed together into one card. At which point it would be worth this much instead of being worth what one card is worth, and it would have the ability to summon much higher level monsters. Still not all the way up to the top, but definitely this is considered the top for gold. Now, when I say things like gold, what am I talking about? Well, inside of Splinterlands, you can see I'm in silver over here, Yeah, thank you about the brawl thing. Let's go take a look at the details of this. You know, as you start playing, you're going to start in novice. I think this is set up so that you can't ever go back to novice. Once it kicks you out into bronze, you're stuck in bronze. And then from bronze, silver, gold, diamond, champion. The rating of your skill determines whereabouts you are in the leagues. You know, the more wins you get, the higher this number goes. The higher the number goes, the higher the league you get into. It makes a lot of sense. But the league determines what is the maximum level that you can use things at. So, for example, in gold, I can only use level 2 legendaries. Whereas in diamond, I can use level 3 legendaries. And in champion, I can use max level legendaries. That seems different to me somehow. Anyway, all of that sort of comes back to right now I'm in the bottom of silver fighting for my life. So let's take another quick battle here and see if I can get a couple of wins. Although I'm not doing very good at the moment. Sorry, the sweet, delicious taste of coffee. I invested a little bit of money a few years back in a halfway decent espresso machine. Now I make my own lattes at home and they're delicious. But that is neither here nor there, and you probably don't care. Geez, it's taken a little while to get a battle today. There was a big town hall and a whole bunch of hubbub for anybody that wants to follow the company behind the game and see what the company is up to. You can always go look at Splinterlands on YouTube. They're always doing a weekly town hall or every 2 weeks a town hall. And just keeping people abreast of how the company is and that kind of stuff. Is it necessary to play the game? Not at all. Quality and Little League. Interesting. Well, let's go kind of over here. Because I feel like, well, this might be a terrible choice. Let's just go take a quick look over here too. There's not a lot better. Okay. First, let's pull the same sneaky trick. We're gonna put this rat up front just to do that thing. I think the other thing that's gonna happen is we're gonna end up with lots of sneak attack stuff coming at us here, which is fine. It just means I'm gonna have to like be prepared for it. That guy's pretty good. That guy's also pretty good. You know, I sort of wonder if maybe I'm doing this the wrong way. There other 3 mana guy doing 2 arrowing damage. I thought there was. No, I guess not. Let's take this guy up. That lab spider at the back, but Furious here. Yeah. No. Yeah, like that. Okay. We'll see how we do. I have not high hopes for this one. I feel like I did not have a good team in my head for how to deal with this, which is one of the downsides to playing a game like this if you're not like hot in your head. See, this is what I was talking about. This. I knew I went the wrong direction. Okay, well, here we go. This kills this. Oh man, look at all the health. Oh, because of the equality. That's going to be interesting. Boo, that happened way too fast. Yeah, I'm just going to lose this one. Thanks. All right. So, this is the way it goes sometimes in this game. Now, probably shouldn't give this away, but one of the things I have noticed is that depending on the time of day, depending on what day of the week, it makes a big difference as to who's online and who you're playing against. So I have occasionally taken to noticing when I'm winning a lot or when I'm losing a lot, and either playing more or less as appropriate. All right. Let's play something a little bit. Oh, no. Let's play something a little bit devious. We have this. And we have this. And I do think that those two are just a ridiculous combination by themselves. But I think that that changes that equation pretty drastically. I think we end up with enough mana to consider something like this. Yeah. Seems good. Now, one thing that should be interesting is the Korra has bloodlust. Bloodlust, that's the word I'm looking for. And because of that, I mean, she gets bigger all the time. Oh, here we go. Somebody really trying to stop this Korra stuff. And somebody who's a little bit of an expert, too, judging by the cards that are here, which scares me a little bit. No. No, her speed went up, and that made her a target. Dang. This is going to be over really fast. That's too bad. I sort of knew looking at it. But like I said, sometimes you look at it and you go, okay, well, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's maybe not the best time for me to be trying to poke my way in here, because I'm getting the tar kicked right out of me here. I mean, I'm also playing guys that are like hundreds of points above my level, which is a little bit weird to me. Like, I'm really getting matched way up over my head a little. But on that note, thank you very much, guys. Hopefully you learned a little bit, and next time we're going to get into a little bit more of some of the strategy of how I'm playing and some of the game styles and things to watch out for and that kind of stuff. I mean, I'll just be doing this every day, so log on in, check in. If you have any ideas or comments or things you don't agree with, things you do agree with, let me know. Let me know that there's people alive out in the universe out there. All right, cheers. Have a great day.